All right, what's up from Napa Valley? I don't know if you guys caught this, but Brock Purdy, when he talked to Mark Schlereth, who's one of Fox's broadcasters, he's going to be calling the game tomorrow. Brock Purdy had probably his spiciest, strongest quote ever, and Mark Schlereth relayed it in his podcast. But Brock Purdy said that anybody who calls me a game manager either doesn't know what they're watching or hasn't watched the film, and the end of this story will prove that. That was Mark Schlereth paraphrasing Brock Purdy, but, just listen in right now. Listen in to what Mark Schlereth said about this on his podcast.
Asked him the one question that, he's been saddled with. And I looked at him like I'm looking at you, and I said, game manager, how do you respond? And I was impressed because he bowed his back a little bit.
Did he?
Yeah.
How so?
He bowed his back because Brock Purdy said, anybody who calls me a game manager either is not watching the film or doesn't know what they're looking at.
Ooh, spicy.
In the end, the end of this thing will tell the story. And I'm telling you, he goes like, hey, listen, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm the best quarterback or I'm the best, but he goes, I got some gunslinger in me, and you look at some of the throws I make, and you look at some of the windows I throw it into. He goes, I know that I'm not the biggest armed guy. I never have been. So I had to make up for the lack of arm talent with perfect timing, with great footwork, with being on time, and knowing where everybody is. And there was this touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals a couple weeks ago that impressed the heck out of me because they motioned into a 2-by-2 formation. Okay? So you have a slot where you've got an outside receiver and a slot receiver, right? Then you got a tight end opposite of that. So it's like the formation would be called, you would call it doubles, or some people call it dice, right? Tight end and Z receiver to the left side of the football field. Slot receiver, which is your F, and your Z on the outside. So they get matched up by Arizona in a man look. So the slot receiver has outside leverage. DB has outside leverage, about 5 yards off, outside leverage, trying to force that wide receiver into the middle of the football field, right? He's trying to force him to where the whole defender is, meaning the help defender, okay? Outside cornerback has inside leverage, about 5 yards off the ball. So he's trying to force that receiver to the sideline to use the sideline as an extra defender. Okay? So then they snap the ball, and Brock Purdy reads that pre-snap, snaps the ball, looks at it. Both guys jump. Outside guy jumps more inside, forces him, and stays on top. The inside slot defender, jumps outside and takes away the outside breaking route. Brock Purdy looks at it pre-snap, confirms it post-snap, is off of it in less than half a second. So even if the guy got open, he knows based on the coverage, I don't want to go there. So he's not holding the ball to see, hey, maybe the guy will get open anyhow. He's already off of it. So now he goes to Kittle running a shallow. Well, there's two defenders right there engulfing Kittle. Off of Kittle, he's got pressure in his face to Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield running an angle route or a Texas route. And whoop, touchdown, about 8 yards deep in the end zone. He went through that progression. He confirmed it post-snap. He identified it pre-snap, confirmed it post-snap, got through that progression, and I timed it on my stopwatch. Yeah. Just timed it. Under 2 seconds.
Oof.
So he went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 in under 2 seconds and threw a touchdown.
I don't think people realize
it was
how talented, how
it was freaking
next level that is. That's not game manager.
I rewound 15 times.
Yeah.
I was like, holy Moses.
Yeah.
And this is the kid. They're like, well, it's just Shanahan's offense.
All I have to say is that Brock Purdy has known who he is since day one. Just this cool, collected competence. And the people who say that he's anything, that he's a game manager or that he's somehow limited are wrong. They've been wrong since day one, and Brock Purdy has known that. And the fact that he's starting to talk a little bit, I think that's really cool. And I think it's indicative of the confidence that both Brock Purdy and the 49ers have as they march toward a Lombardi trophy. Speaking of the Lombardi trophy, it's the Napa Valley Olive Oil Manufacturing Company. Awesome place. You see the American flag, see the Italian flag, Lombardi, Italian. That's where Brock Purdy and the 49ers are headed.